Israel is number 2 in the world per capita, number 5 overall for total vaccines given out. And given the small size of the nation, those are some very big accomplishments. Now, just behind me is where they're giving out the vaccination. If you pull up the video we sent not too long ago, you'll see what exactly it means to be so massively above the original plan when it comes down to daily vaccinations. Remember that Israel was saying they originally intended to do 60,000 vaccines each day. Now they're saying it's going to be 150,000 as the first week blew those numbers out of the park, upwards of 75,000 vaccinations every single day. Just looking at the videos, it's standing room only inside. We couldn't even get the camera set up to even do this live to show you directly. We'd just film it and show you directly. Now, why is this so important? Prime Minister Netanyahu is saying that 25% of the country is going to be vaccinated by the end of January. Now, 25% is important because it doesn't just mean 25% of the country. Since they're starting with medical workers and people over 60, that's 95% of coronavirus mortalities eliminated by the vaccine over the course of the month-long lockdown that we're seeing right now. That means at the end of the lockdown, but the most vulnerable populations vaccinated, you eliminate 95% of the deaths in the country, and you start allowing the entire economy to reopen. And that economy has taken a pounding over the last year with lockdown after lockdown, causing a contraction of 4.25%.
Yeah.
Now, this has been one of the biggest issues facing the country is the health versus economy, and it looks like there might finally be a solution for that as people are getting vaccinated.
Ariel, one of the concerns is the variant of the virus that was developed and discovered in the UK and other places in Europe. Flights were halted. People were sent to hotels for quarantine. But Europe is starting to vaccinate its population as well now, right?
Yes, they're talking about vaccinating in the next coming few hours. As of today, they've finally gotten massive amounts of vaccines from the companies, and they're being distributed to all 27 member states of the European Union. This is very critical for Europe, which has seen 335,000 deaths from coronavirus so far, and upwards of 14 million confirmed infections from the coronavirus. So that means that as far as per capita infections going, they're not too far off from the United States in mortality to population rate right now, and it's a pretty major issue for many European Union member states, which were hammered very hard by the virus. Now that you're finally starting to see the vaccines roll out there too, you could start to see much of the world's economic centers, particularly the Western ones, which were shut down the hardest, start to reopen as there is relief for their citizens, relief for their most vulnerable populations, and a way to protect them moving forward.
Okay. Looking around you, is it really people just over 60 that are arriving, or are you seeing some younger Israelis that are trying to cut the line in an Israeli way?
Obviously, there's going to be a few of those, but so far has been overwhelmingly majority of the people here has been people in the vulnerable groups above 60. In fact, over the course of the past week, we've been showing all the scenes from these vaccination centers as the first crowds show up. And it's been such a run on the vaccines that people have been turned aside and told to make an appointment. So if you're trying to cut your way in line here, you're going to have a bad time, just given the wait that it already exists.
Okay.
Such a low priority. If you're not in a vulnerable group, you're not going to get one.